connection with George?
To me, the connection with George's selection, or when it happened, when it didn't happen, to me is irrelevant. I don't think this by-election should come about George Lee. I don't think people should be starstruck by it. I think we need to realise that we're now looking at a Fine Gael candidate. We need to judge him on his merits. Is he the right man for Dublin South, for the state as a whole? And you need to judge him on Fine Gael policy. George Lee now stands for a party that wants to introduce a graduate tax on students, wants to cut the spend on social housing, wants to let 15,000 public sector workers go. Is that what Dublin South needs? Is that what the state needs? I don't think so. That's what I judge him on. I'm not bothered really when he was selected or how he was selected. It's irrelevant.
I think you're right. It's not about all the selection or anything like that. As far as I'm concerned, Fine Gael policy is about addressing the issues in the economy and beyond. And ultimately, what we have to do is face up to the challenges which we have. And we do need some reforms in the public sector.
Workers go?
We do need some reforms in the public sector. There's an awful lot of money being spent there. We do need to ensure that people in the education system are enabled.
Cutting social housing. Do you think that's a good idea?
That people in education are enabled to get third-level education and that they can look forward to being able to go to college without having to pay fees up front.
And we do need to introduce fees by the back door, though, George. You can't have it both ways. The graduate tax
is not a graduate tax.
But that's what you have been putting forward. It's a graduate tax.
Not a graduate
where students will end up paying extra tax after they're going to end up paying one way or the other. It's a tax.
Before we go to the break, I want to ask Shaun Tracey. Shaun, why should people vote for you in this by-election?
Well, I've been involved in. I've grown up and born in Dublin South. Been involved politically for the last 6 or 7 years. I'm a community activist. I'm a plumber by trade. I've seen the job losses. I've seen plenty of friends in the construction industry that are now on the dole queues. I've seen the schools that aren't being built. I've people of a school in my constituency sitting there waiting for a building. I've skilled tradesmen sitting at home friends of mine that could be working on that. I just feel Sinn Féin has a plan in place there to create jobs, to retain jobs, and I want to see that implemented.
Which George Lee has been talking about the exact same thing. So why should people vote for you rather than George Lee?
George Lee is a representative of Fine Gael now who wants to cut public sector jobs by 15,000. How's that going to help the economy? There really isn't a huge difference between Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. And there needs to be a complete alternative